Hi, my name is Harmony. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to walk you through the process I do every week when I do my weekly reflection and plan. I use a Hobonichi Weeks planner for this. It is a perfect addition to my planning system. So even though I could do this process in my bullet journal, and I did so for a few months, I really enjoy doing this in a separate planner. And it's very manageable to do since I only touch this book once a week. So the first part of this process for me is to write a reflection. So I'm using the notes pages in the back of this planner. There are about 70 grid pages back here. If you're interested, they do make a Hobonichi Weeks mega size, and I believe that has over 200 grid pages in the back. And so if you're using this planner as something more than just like a weekly, one time a week planner, then maybe that one is for you. So I use a brush pen to write the heading at the top, and I'll link all my materials that I'm using down below. And then I pick up my bullet journal and I start to go through all the daily logs from the week. I have some examples on my channel about what my daily logs look like in general, but this is a really good time for me to go through and cross out tasks that have already been completed by now, migrate any tasks that I need to do in the following week or month, cross out anything that is irrelevant at this point. And as I am going through and doing that, I'm also reading through the entries and looking for anything that I feel like resonates with me about how my week went. Any certain moods that I felt more than others, any tasks or events that felt more important than others, things like that. And all of this information will help me kind of create a long form entry in my Hobonichi Weeks to talk about how my week went. When that's done, I pick up a pen and I journal. This grid size is pretty small, so I can get a lot of writing in on one page. So once that's done, I put a little piece of paper in there just in case any ink has not dried yet, and I go to the weekly spread for this week. I take a ruler and I section off the weekly side into 4 columns. The Hobonichi Weeks has little grid markings for sectioning off of 3 columns. So I use those to do 3 columns, and then I take that last column and I split that one in half so that it creates 2 small ones out of the one large column. And on the other side, I list out the tasks for the week and a little section for the focus of the week. And I'll explain a little bit more about that in a second. So the whole reason I even introduced this extra book into my system was because I found myself wanting to plan out a few things throughout the week, and it kind of depends on where I'm at in my life, what those things are. But currently, I like to plan my outfits around the weather and my content. And then I like to also get an overview for my work meetings and any kind of responsibilities like that. So even though I do write down my work meetings in my bullet journal, this allows me to kind of connect that to how much time I'll have throughout the day to post content, what outfits I might need to wear for certain activities throughout the day, and things like that. So that's what I use this for. And I find that it helps me get a good sense of my week, and it really helps save time in the morning, especially with respect to the outfits that I wear. So the first like skinny column, that is to write down what day of the cycle work schedule we're on. And so we operate on a 6-day cycle. And so you'll see me write things like day 1, day 2, and then on the weekends I just write none. And I also use that column for my meetings. The second column, I write down the weather. And even though it's not something that I reference a whole lot, I use the weather to plan my outfits for the day. And I have these little tiny weather stickers that I use from Randy.plans. I'll link those below. And I love them. It helps me just really quickly see what type of weather I'm in for the day. That way I know, what kind of shoes to wear, things like that. I keep these little weather stickers in pocket, an adhesive pocket in the back of the planner, and then it's time to move on to my outfit planning. So this is the part that takes the longest, and I feel like if you get it, you get it. I have to think about what responsibilities I have at work, what will I be doing, plus the weather, plus what's clean in my closet. I'm looking back at previous weeks to make sure that I'm not wearing things over and over again and neglecting other outfits in my closet. And so this part does take me absolutely the longest, but that's why I do it, right? So that I'm spending the time here once a week on a Sunday or a Monday in this case, and not spending the time each morning when I might be running late for work. So I have sped up this video like considerably. Sometimes I even have to stop and go and take a look at my closet, take inventory of what I even have. And that helps me, plan my outfits for the week. The last column is for content. Now, for this, it is not a hard and fast rule about what I plan is what I do. We all know that things happen. In fact, that's true for my outfits as well. But for my content, it's even more flexible. I'm just kind of trying to get an idea of what I have available to post and a rough idea of when I could post that. And so often I don't stick with that, but at least it gives me an idea of what kind of content I have available to post this week. Once that's done, I start building my weekly task list. And I know it's odd because I only touch this book once a week, but there's something about getting that list down that helps me get into the right mindset of like, these are the things I need to accomplish this week. The last thing I do in my weekly ritual is identify a focus. This is just like one or two sentences, just naming what I think is highest priority for me to focus on this week. Sometimes it gets done, sometimes it doesn't, but it's nice to just put that out there and remind myself what is highest priority. And that's it. So I have my weekly plan and then my weekly reflection, and it really helps me kind of start my weeks off in the best way possible. So let me know if you have any questions or comments. Thanks for watching.